don't know what I'm gonna do. For every paycheck, I add up the rent, utilities, and prescriptions. What's left isn't enough to feed my family.
27% of food in this country never makes it to the dinner table. Yet tens of thousands of individuals in North Dakota and millions nationally struggle with hunger. As the only food bank in North Dakota, the Great Plains Food Bank combats this challenge by getting 12.5 million pounds of food each year to more than 81,000 people in North Dakota and Clay County, Minnesota. That's more than 10 million meals a year. That's equal to 25 supermarkets, or 6 miles of semi-trucks, or 3 meals a day for 10,000 people.
Every day at school, I can't wait for lunch. Sometimes my mom will surprise me with breakfast, but most of the time, I'm so hungry that I can't think about anything else but my tummy growling.
Founded 31 years ago as a program of Lutheran Social Services of North Dakota, over the next year, the Great Plains Food Bank will transition to being an independent organization.
While we have had much success in our work together, as an independent organization, the Great Plains Food Bank will be positioned to be even more successful in meeting emerging needs and new opportunities, focusing on their mission of ending hunger in North Dakota.
I was deployed for 27 months, and when I got back, I found a full-time job, but it's still not enough to pay all my bills and buy groceries.
How the Great Plains Food Bank saves millions of pounds of surplus food from going to waste and feeds tens of thousands of people statewide is a lesson in efficiency and collaboration. Each year, millions of pounds of food are donated either directly to the Great Plains Food Bank from local and regional food industry partners, or received from national food companies through Feeding America, a network of 200 food banks nationwide. Most food is donated by the truckload in large quantities. The Great Plains Food Bank receives, inspects, and prepares this product so that feeding programs can efficiently distribute it to families in need. The donated food is then distributed to communities across the state through the Great Plains Food Bank's own programs and a network of more than 265 partner agencies, each of which meet unique local needs. Partner agencies include food pantries, shelters, soup kitchens, and other charitable feeding programs. North Dakota's economy is thriving in so many ways, yet tens of thousands of people worry how they will keep a roof over their head, feed their family, and cover other basic needs. For many, it's a day-to-day juggling act.
The Great Plains Food Bank is able to help feed 1 in 10 people in our region because of our many committed partners. Hundreds of food donors share their surplus product, which thousands of volunteers sort and package. Our financial donors provide the means to distribute the food, while our statewide network of partner feeding programs get it into the hands of those who need it most. It's a remarkably effective and efficient system.
I have to pay my heat bill, but that means rationing my medication or I won't have any money left over to eat.
Hunger exists in every community. It affects our children, grandparents, those living with disabilities, individuals and families who are homeless, veterans, and people living on limited or fixed incomes. 1 in 9 children in our state live without regular access to nutritious food, limiting their abilities and their futures.
The perception that hunger exists because someone won't work doesn't stand up to the weight of the evidence. Surprisingly, it's our neighbors who are seeking help. They have jobs, raise families, and they're educated. Too often they face difficult choices between paying for rent, utilities, medicine, or food. For many who seek food assistance, it is supplemental. It helps them stretch their resources from paycheck to paycheck.
My son has leukemia. My wife and I do everything we can to keep him healthy, but the treatments and travel costs are so high. We both usually have 1 small meal a day and pray for help every night.
While the facts around hunger in our state are sobering, tremendous opportunity and clear solutions exist to tackle this problem that affects so many of our citizens. Feed the Future, A campaign of the Great Plains Food Bank will provide food for an additional 10 million more meals by 2021, greatly closing the hunger gap for neighbors in need. This campaign will focus on 3 specific objectives: acquire, expand, and enhance the statewide distribution center in Fargo, create a new regional service center in Bismarck, and expand programs and partnerships to address immediate hunger needs and develop long-term solutions. Acquiring and expanding the current statewide distribution center in Fargo will increase the Great Plains Food Bank's capacity to handle and distribute more food. Doubling refrigeration and freezer space will support the capture of the growing availability of large quantities of fresh and perishable products. A new semi-tractor and trailer and a van for volunteer use will increase the frequency and amount of food distributed across the state. The new Partner Pickup Hub will allow each partner agency to select specific types and amounts of food for their programs, as well as receive additional fresh food and perishables. More than 5,000 volunteers share their time every year helping to prepare food for statewide distribution. An efficient and well-equipped volunteer engagement center is vital to sort, package, label, and box the food. To increase efficiencies and support the recovery of more food in central and western North Dakota, the Great Plains Food Bank will establish a new regional service center in Bismarck. This center will greatly impact people facing hunger in the 28 central and western counties by increasing food distribution efforts, engaging more community partners, and expanding programs. It will encompass office, warehouse, freezer and cooler space, a volunteer center, and community meeting space. The Great Plains Food Bank has a tremendous opportunity to create new and expand existing statewide food programs. The campaign will allow the Great Plains Food Bank to expand the Backpack program from 23 to 75 communities, ensuring chronically hungry children receive a bag of food each weekend. The Kids Summer Lunch Program provides food to children during summer break when they don't have access to school breakfast or lunch. The number of Great Plains Food Bank sponsored communities will increase from 3 to 25. The School Pantry Program will be piloted in 5 schools, offering supplemental food to families who struggle with hunger. This food is easily accessible and received confidentially. The Fresh Produce Initiative will enable the Great Plains Food Bank to secure large quantities of surplus nutritious fruits and vegetables from across the nation. The new Senior Food Pack program will provide fresh and nutritious food through creative new partnerships to low-income seniors who currently don't have access to this type of food assistance. Finally, the new Center for Hunger-Free Communities will empower communities to design local solutions to hunger and position the Great Plains Food Bank in the forefront of addressing the root causes of hunger through broader collaborations, research, advocacy, and awareness. The Feed the Future campaign will help end hunger in North Dakota by raising a minimum of $5.1 million in community support, with a challenge goal of $6.2 million. Hunger exists, but so do the solutions. The Feed the Future campaign leads that charge, just as Great Plains Food Bank has for more than 30 years. While the immediate hunger needs of people will be met today, the Feed the Future campaign will ensure a future where children are fed and equipped to learn and grow. Seniors experience a better quality of life. Parents are comforted knowing they can provide for their families. And communities are robust because of the strength of their citizens. We invite you to join us to Feed the Future. Together, we solve hunger.